again in the Brenningburg Castle guest room, which is apparently the room Daniel stayed in. I'm your host, Karkarov, and yes indeed, this is Amnesia, the Dark Descent from Frictional Games. So out there's the entrance hall, which is where I came from. I've already checked this room over here. Just to wrap up, I found some interesting documents suggesting the thing Daniel found in the tomb much earlier in the game might not be what he thinks it is. So we need to check this room over here. Door is stuck due to a broken lock. Let's see what the memento thingy says. Lock is broken. Find another way to open the closet door in the guest room. You know, I did find a crowbar before, so let's give that a go. Okay, you gotta use the actual crowbar apparently.
The key. Please, let it be here.
This is fun. Let's hope I don't get ass raped. Sounds like you left, but I'm not going to take the game's niceties for it. Glad he wasn't very methodical.
4th of July, 1839. It's done! The orb is assembled. I was awakened by an exhausting nightmare. Shaking and sweating, I retired to the drawing room with a cup of tea. The relic pieces lay spread across the table as I'd left them, but somehow I knew how it was supposed to be. I fetched the tar, which I had prepared to fix the pieces together, and without fault I joined them, producing the orb I remembered so clearly. The tar proved unnecessary. It was pushed out from the joining pieces as they merged on their own, with no adhesive. The ancient stone relic now rests on my table. Its immaculate surface and perfect shape could have been molded by a factory. This is all too strange.
So I'm still looking for a key. Gotta be in here somewhere. check in here again. Maybe I didn't give it a close enough look. Okay. It's possible that's the deal, so let's find out. And over here.
Thank God, there it is. I guess it is a good place to hide it then.
What the hell is this? There's the machine room key. Looks like we're done here. The strange letter frightened him, but it was also the only one which offered some comfort. No pus sacks? Have some eaten body. I'm glad someone left that for me, but I wasn't really hungry. Let's go ahead and check the study. I get the suspicion I'm going to need to check all these rooms regardless, because there'll be something broken in the machine room that I'll need to fix. Panted heavily, trying his best to keep himself from screaming. His cabinet has been overturned and like collapsed on the floor. He reached through the broken glass door and grabbed all the sedatives he could find. It's probably a good idea since you just reached through a broken door. Yep, it's another archives. Got quite a few dogs. Let's go ahead and use one tinderbox here. As I say, I've got quite a few now, so. If anyone tries to invade this room, well. Which way does the door open? Yeah, I can block the holy hell out of this door, so I'm not worried about it. Worried about needing to keep people out here. What those things are? Teapots, maybe? Somehow I don't think walking around with that cross held out in front of me, making a speech will actually help me. Just in case. Letter regarding the discovery of an orb to my most trusted student and friend, Johann Weyer. The most remarkable thing happened as I was traveling through the Prussian woods this summer. I finally found one of the orbs I've been looking for the last 20-odd years. It was as inexplicable as the Heliodromus described it in the Hortus Conclusus, as it was told about an underground Mithraic temple crowned with the unearthly artifact. The orb was big enough to fill my cupped hands, and the texture was smooth and jagged. Somebody hit the crack pipe a little too hard before they picked up this orb. Its color washed while rich. Contrast is not enough to describe its nature. It was an impossibility, an artificial paradox captured within stone. I was staying in a nearby village called Aldstadt, you know, the place where Brennenburg Castle is, go figure, investigating one of the antiquated trails when I finally found the cavern. I went inside and suddenly I could verify the truth of these enigmatic artifacts. They were real. As you can understand, this is the most important discovery of my life, but it has also become my greatest fear. As I entered the underground chamber, I could feel that I was trespassing. Because of my curiosity, I did my best to fight these instincts and fetch the orb from its place. I scrambled out of the chamber and into the woods. I could sense something was following me. It bayed loudly as it closed in. The beast, this guardian of the orb, was relentless in its pursuit. I made my way to a nearby ravine where I stumbled upon some men fishing in the lake. I tried to warn them as I passed, but unfortunately they remained as I continued my escape. When I heard their cry of pain echo through the valley, it felt such a tremendous sense of relief, thinking I would be spared. What a nice guy. Suddenly a blue shimmering light engulfed me, and the colors of the forest were washed away before my eyes. I kept running through the bleak surroundings, and the tree turned charcoal black with leaves of cinder. The ground covered in a murky water, I pressed on through the drenched land, and the glowing ember gave way to rising wind and rain on me. I could hear pleading screams in the distance, and I joined in as pain and fear overtook me. I fell to the ground grasping for air. It certainly must sound strange, but it's been carried miles away across the Alps to a grassy field outside Genoa. The guardian had taken the orb from me, but still until this day I fear its return. Sometimes I lay awake at night listening for the howling cry I heard in the forest. It has been nearly a decade since the day, and I still haven't been able to write about the incident. Until the last time we spoke, you told me about your interest and ongoing research into the mythic orbs, and I realized I owed you the truth about my visit to Altstadt. Your friend and mentor, Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa,